See that kid there? That's me. My name's Sam. And the other guy's my grandpa. No, he'd always take me out to sit in his car and tell me all these really cool stories. Nobody could tell a story like my grandpa. But my favorite story he told was the story of Thanksgiving. He would tell me about these pilgrims making this huge journey from England to America. It was a very, very long and tough journey. They spent months at sea. But just the hope they had kept them going. And then finally, that one fateful day came along, and they spotted America. They were so happy. They were finally going to be free. Once they landed in America, their journey was only still beginning, and they had many tough, tough days ahead of them. The first thing they knew they had to do was find some kind of land to start their settlement. Finding that perfect place to stay, well, it turned out to be a little harder than they thought. They spent hours walking around, sometimes even walking around in circles. They just had to find that perfect place. That place that they would finally feel free and at home. Now, even from the very beginning, from when they landed, the Indians had already seen them. Didn't quite know what to make of them, but they watched very, very closely. They watched everything they were doing. Who were these strange people coming into their land? Well, after looking, and then looking, and even looking a little bit more, the Pilgrims had finally spotted that place they wanted to call home. That place that was theirs and theirs alone. Or so they thought. They called it Plymouth Rock. Once the Pilgrims found their place, they could think of nothing more to do but sit and pray, thanking God for their safe journey. They faced many hard times, the Pilgrims, and nearly 50% of them died within the first year, from disease or weather or other things. The Pilgrims' luck would finally start to change when they befriended an Indian named Squanto. He would become a very vital friend to them, and show them all sorts of things. At first, some of the Pilgrims were afraid of Squanto, but they soon realized that he was a friend. He even invited them to see his home. Squanto's knowledge amazed the Pilgrims. He showed them many things. When they struggled to build a boat, just to get around, he showed them how to build a canoe, starting from scratch. When the Pilgrims' crop failed, Squanto showed them ways to fertilize and better plant their crop. The Pilgrims showed that they actually had some skills of their own, especially when it came to fishing. Squanto showed the Pilgrims many things about tracking and trapping. He showed them how to use some traps, such as a snare, to catch all sorts of animals. He also showed them how to hunt, which would be one thing that they would find extremely useful for survival. Squanto showed them how to use animals, such as a mule, to haul things. The Pilgrims had such a bountiful crop that they could do nothing but rejoice. Squanto was able to show the Pilgrims how to use every part of an animal so that they could get the best use out of it. The Pilgrims had other areas where they really needed help. They couldn't get a fire started. They spent hours banging on rocks, rubbing sticks together, and all they needed to do was ask Squanto. After Squanto showed them how to start and make a perfect fire, they were able to cook their meal, and they enjoyed the fellowship and the time together as friends and neighbors. In the end, the Pilgrims had learned a very valuable lesson about being thankful. Being thankful for friends they'd made, for their families, for their freedom, and most of all, for God, who gave them everything, including their bountiful harvest. And that's really what Thanksgiving is all about.
Josh, just open the door, buddy.
You can't get out? Why?
I don't know what I did.
I tried it. It's locked. Or it's not closed all the way.
Bang. But
Bang.
get real close to him.
Peppy,
Bang!
bang. Go more on the side.
Bang!
Bang.
Bang! Now, take it. Hurry.
Bang.
B. That's the thing.
I'm sorry, I don't have this
I
like
don't know.
that. Saying
Oh,
drop
it's
your knees,
cute.
I'll blow your
Uh-huh.
head off.
Carl.
Start on the deer. I will shoot you if I must.
Back to land!